Q&A. What do we think? Come on, you had lots to say like a few minutes ago.
But now we're on camera. Okay, I think conceptually I like it. Can you just go back to the lyrics thing, please? Oh, that's cool.
Is it that thing where
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
go
yeah.
back to it?
No, sorry. Just help me understand a little bit better, just to clarify. When you say you're doing the whole thing backwards, how long is this relationship supposed to last? So is this relationship something that's developing over months, days, years?
I would say years. Because
how many years? I'm only asking because
let's say
presumably you're
let's
gonna
say
need...
3, for example.
Okay. So why is this person dying?
Because there's a few references to death.
So, but I ask just because you're gonna have like a 20-year-old, presume?
Yeah, something like that.
Die of a broken heart.
Well, that's Rihanna's thought, anyway.
It's not going to happen though, obviously.
Huh?
No, it might happen.
See, when you
it's
say
just
that,
I'm trying to think of how I portray a broken
You
heart.
don't have to specify how the person dies. Sometimes it's better to leave questions for the audience to
Yeah,
interpret
true.
it whatever they want.
but you don't want it to look a bit random. How many 23-year-olds die of broken hearts?
I didn't say they were broken heart, I just said
Or
die.
just well,
On a 3-year relationship.
we see when you said the idea, immediately I imagined it was something that happened over years. Like
yeah.
years. So presumably you have them. Like
That was a thought.
But I know that would be really hard to
Yeah.
organise, but that is sort of what.
I think that's the thought that we had previously, casting like generations sort of thing. Because there's quite for example, like history and centuries and stuff. It all implies in future. It all implies like quite a long time.
Why didn't you get your grandparents to play?
My grandparents. Well, seeing as I'm going for an early 20s look, and my grandparents are about 80.
No. To
years
show
old.
the evolution of the relationship.
That's a lot.
But that's sort of, that would make sense then. Just an idea.
I think in general, I'm still not sure what your narrative is, because you said that you cut back and forth, but
Yeah.
and you have the fact that the guy dies, but what is this? Can you outline the storyline roughly, like what happens, what you'd be cutting back to?
Yeah. So the video starts with the guy maybe on the floor, just to show
Okay.
he's dead or something. And then he goes on to show the events leading up to that, which is the breakup of their relationship. So they were in quite a troublesome relationship.
Okay.
And, that's where I hope to include the slow-mo, like people smashing stuff up and everything.
Okay.
And then whilst this is happening, we get a few second shots of the band playing their instruments and the lead singer.
So how will you convey that over 3 minutes plus of their relationship? What's going to be the evolution of their relationship over that 3 minutes?
So they'll go from hate, obviously the man dying, or dead, and then sort of hate each other to first meeting.
Okay.
And,
You have specific scenes in mind?
Well, the tree stump, when they first meet, I would meet with the tree stump.
Okay. What else? What else?
Let me think. Maybe a house scene where.
Do they live together?
Sorry.
Do they live together?
Yeah. So,
I think you might want to have a think about the chronology of that sequence. Just otherwise you won't have enough footage.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh, the actors separate. They're not going to sing, are they? It's just the band.
No, the actors don't sing.
Okay.
It's just the band, the lead singer and the band who sings.
I think if you could do it, it might not be a bad idea to have different generations kind of thing, because you have your song is basically lyrics history and future.
Yeah.
So past and present. So if you could do it, obviously, I would to like have like two young people, say you have like two young cousins, for example, like right at the start and then just show like an evolution, so by the end like Ramsey you could have like two old people.
Yeah.
And then just like for you have,
Anyone
like,
have any siblings?
I mean, even if you can't go to that extreme, you could always shift it to a different sort of age group. So you could have like maybe two school kids that were like year 9 or 10 that were going at each other, and then show them after they leave school in college, after they leave college go to university. So therefore you can still get maybe 2 or 3 couples, but just a sort of narrow, a more narrow
What throws me
entry.
is the death. That's all that's bugging me in my head. Because if you're gonna kill one of them,
I think it needs to be older.
yeah, that's just that's my thought exactly.
Not necessarily, it depends. I mean, obviously it's unnatural to die at a young age,
Doesn't have
so
to
you
be
have
old.
to
Unless it's an actual accident.
imply somehow that you obviously, you could imply subtly. You don't really have to.
Because
to
if
be
they're
honest.
like too old,
If you imply that it's a broken heart, then obviously, then yeah, you might.
Because if they're too old, you might just think they've died of old age.
What if you have them die, as in one of them die in an accident?
Yeah, like a car crash or
Yeah, that's
motorbike
kind of what I was thinking.
Well, does the other one find out? Does she like try to run to him?
Sorry, I missed like one small bit out. Like a small idea I had was like after the death, which is actually before the death because it's in reverse around.
Some conception can be
Actually no, it'd be that wouldn't work. I don't think.
What if you have her kill him?
I was
It
thinking
doesn't have
that,
to be linear.
like after an accident and then she runs him over.
No, that's like effort to film.
If
Just
you
have it in a fight.
If
an
you're
accident.
saying it's a relationship with a lot of conflicts, it would make
Makes
sense narratively for one of them to kill the other one.
You know, say
But
conflict.
it's
But on
kind of a song
purpose.
about love though, isn't it?
Perhaps just in a moment of rage or something.
And she like punch him or something and just
Oh, no, I
and he
think
bangs
we
his
should
head all the way down.
Kills me
you
with one
can
punch.
you can order I think it's called sugar glass or safety glass.
Mm.
Where it's you can smash it on someone's
Yeah.
and just have them throw it. And
Slow
it'll be an
motion.
epic slow motion scene.
What? Throw it at someone?
Yeah. It's perfectly safe. So I'm told.
Just like smashing bars in your face.
But it's safety glass.
Yeah.
So it's designed, it's what they use in movies and that. And it's not that
Rihanna, they
expensive.
used that in the play last week.
Yeah. And they were like,
They threw a glass and it
And it hit
smashed
them,
in
yeah.
someone's head.
it's effective.
And then it'll look epic on slow mo if you catch it.
I feel like you can have them like having a fight, and say like he comes back from a pub or something, like drunk, and then she finds a bottle, because apparently he's not supposed to drink, whatever, and then she gets like angry with him and she like hits him with the bottle, and then he like bangs his head on the table and then he like dies. Or just...
Maybe he killed her. That's something you could
But does he
explore.
have to die?
Maybe the whole song is him singing about
Yeah.
he regrets killing her.
This is turning into quite
Because
sinister.
if you think about it,
sinister
if
story.
you say that the relationship was a troublesome relationship, and imagine they had a fight, and like Kareem said, he smashed the vase at her, and she fell and bumped her head on something sharp, and she just died. And then the whole song is him singing that he will see her in the future. And almost a bit twisted, but it's just an idea.
I wonder could it be
You subverted the lyrics.
the death of the relationship rather than an actual death of one of the characters in the relationship?
Says the English teacher. But then,
But it wouldn't be as dramatic though, would it?
I think that's the point.
Sorry.
I
You sing before.
my concern would be that it's kind of leaning toward something that's a bit melodramatic and might be unrealistic and unconvincing.
See, I don't know, another idea, if rather than start with the death, like just before it, have like the female like finding out that her like partner's died, and like the reflection of the police blue siren things on their
Do you know what? Stephen, as well. A lot of your ideas at the moment, they're kind of relying on actors being good,
Yeah, I think
That's
very
true.
good.
and I don't know if you're going to find good actors.
What if you, Steve, what if
Very
you have a fight at the end, and rather than someone die, or the beginning, whatever you're doing, have one of them just literally walk out and slam the door behind them, and then that would basically symbolise the death of the relationship, and then just and then work your way back. So basically, showing the evolution of their relationship. Starts off happy,
But how would like
problematic, deteriorates.
Well, I think that's a good idea, actually,
dramatically.
Kareem. Because if the guy is saying that he'll see in the future when they're old and all that, it's sort of you could show that he's moved on after the death of their relationship. So he actually wants her to be happy, even though they're not together anymore, because he realised that it was a bad combination or whatever.
They're better off apart.
So yeah, you could, I suppose you could rewrite
So
it in that
start the video off like someone slamming the door on the other person.
Maybe you could show, the new relationship that she's in, and he's sort of got this voyeuristic sort of thing going on.
Is it quite cliche to have her like, when you see people, someone in a coffee shop, whatever, and they're like, she's drinking tea with someone else and he walks past? Is that really cliche?
And he just starts swearing, just break.
No, I mean he smiles. He sees her and smiles because he's like, she's happy.
Slaughters
The table.
Pardon?
Massacre.
Just a really bloody
Kills everyone in the finisher.
Just grabs the coffee and just.
You could start with that, just a coffee shop, just full of blood everywhere. It's a nice tracking shot.
Yeah.
See the Dexter.
That'd
Okay.
be easy to organise.
The other thing is, still goes back up. Why are you doing it in reverse as well? I like that idea, but just why?
There's a lot of like references to like time manipulation.
Time manipulation.
So like the future, history, centuries, when you're older, it just leaves.
So
it
what
just leaves a lot of
lyrics are you
opportunity
using
for-
to justify starting the relationship at the end and working back? Because it changes the meaning of the lyrics
It just-
significantly.
Yeah, but it kind of makes it more interesting, really.
It does, yeah, without a doubt.
Um,
Just asking how you justify it.
Just like see, I'm intending to still have the tree stump, even though it's at the beginning. Have it somewhere towards the end because it's at the beginning.
On that note as well, you know where I filmed my thriller last year?
Uh-huh.